CountryWide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lamp.
So we've got Dan Gaddum there, CEO of Stand Forestry Group. The New Zealand forestry sector is entering a significant new chapter with the completion of one of New Zealand's biggest industry forestry mergers in recent years. PF Olsen and Forestry360 have officially united under a new name and brand, Stand Forestry Group, creating Australasia's largest independent forestry management company. Backed by new investment from Adamanitam Capital, supported by a cornerstone investor, Quayside Holdings. To discuss the merger and the thinking behind the new Stand brand, what it means for the future of forestry, carbon markets and landowners on both sides of the Tasman, we're joined by Stand Forestry Group Chief Executive Dan Gaddum. G'day Dan, congratulations on the new launch. PF Olsen and Forestry360 have been highly respected names. The Stand name, a fascinating name, fantastic name actually, Dan. Really appreciate it. Tell us why did you go with the name Stand? Right, looks like we've got Dan on mute here just in a minute, so hopefully we can get Dan to unmute himself. I'm not sure if you can hear me, Dan, but you're on mute.
Try that, man. How you got me now?
Gotcha, mate. The name Stand. Good
Yeah.
on. Hey, thanks for your time. The name Stand. What does it mean? I know what a stand of trees mean. Is that the thinking behind it?
Yeah, look, it's a really awesome name. We're super thrilled with it. We obviously had some help along the way to land where we did, but it obviously represents a stand of trees, so it has that connection to what we're all about with forestry, but also as a name that can be used in a number of different ways as a noun and a verb, and standing up for things and principles, and which is how the business wants to roll. So we're super thrilled with where we've landed.
Yeah, I think it's a great name actually, and it's nice and simple, and it makes for a nice logo, as I can see there on your shirt. So that's good. Hey, so let's just go back a little bit. The reason for the merger between PF Olsen and Forest360, what was that? Why was that considered necessary?
Look, I think ultimately scale is an important piece with trying to execute strategy these days, Andy. The costs of business are increasing. You've got increasing compliance costs. Everything is getting more and more expensive. So trying to operate sort of small, lean businesses is obviously one approach, but ultimately with the increasing compliance and certification schemes and all these things that go hand in hand with modern forestry, just having the scale made a lot of sense. And I think also in addition to that, like both businesses had well-established footprints. However, there were some gaps that we both had on both sides of the pre-existing businesses. So bringing those the two businesses together allowed us to fully cover those gaps, and now we've got a very solid offering both in Australia and New Zealand. So we're super thrilled to be able to do that.
Okay, 480,000 hectares of forestry across Australasia, team of more than 200 people in that. How different is forestry from in New Zealand to Australia? Are there any similarities?
It's quite different, primarily in its client base. So, Australia is dominated by significant forest owners and fund managers in that market. So our list of clients in Australia is significantly less than New Zealand. New Zealand, we've got thousands of clients spread from Kaitai to Bluff, so it is quite a different market. Obviously, different species in some respects, and different products as well. So, quite different markets, different geographies and geologies as well. So, but ultimately, the people are very, very similar. We're all people, and similar to farming, we're all people of the land, and share that affinity. So, but otherwise, it's different game.
Dan, mergers are always tricky, bringing two cultures together, PF Olsen, Forest360. How difficult do you think this merger is going to be? And is there, or not, maybe, as the case may be, are you both very similar?
Yeah, look, I think we're 3 months into the merger so far, Andy, and it's going very, very well. We've again, I come back to the type of people that get involved in these industries brings a natural affinity together. So, we're a long way ahead of where we thought we were going to be. Yes, there are challenges because people get used to working in certain ways, and ultimately we want to change some of that stuff. So, there's that part that goes with it, but we've been so happy with how everyone's seen the rationale for the merger, seen the possibilities, and what we want to do, and it's been really, really good. So so far so good. The biggest challenges we've got at the moment is actually around IT and bringing two different systems together. So if Bill Gates could solve that for us, we'd be a lot better off.
Or just don't go and talk to the immigration department around that, whatever you do, okay?
That's
There
right.
might be a few jobs going, so just be careful on that one.
Right.
Yeah, Dan, sorry, I shouldn't have thrown that in there. That's a bit unkind.
That's fair.
Just talking about then, obviously an Australasian company now, but what difference will we see in New Zealand with the merger? Like as I said, we probably don't know a heck of a lot about the Australian structure, but we do know a lot about New Zealand. We've got a lot of carbon forestry in New Zealand. We've got a lot of plantation forestry. Will we see anything different in particular, or will there be a renewed focus with Stand on one part of the business or another? Talk me through that.
I think that primarily we're going to see a difference and a bit more visibility, Andy, and your listeners are going to see it as in this the joint venture space. So we've launched a joint venture forest product, which is essentially providing a pathway for landowners to get into the ETS, plant some trees. We'll fund all the costs involved with those joint ventures, and there's a 50-50 share of the cash flows at the back end of it. So and that's it can be obviously tweaked depending on the site and a few different things, but we firmly believe that there's a opportunity in the carbon and also in addition to carbon, the natural capital space, which is if anyone's keeping an eye on the amount of money that's flowing around in that in the natural capital game, that is an increasingly exciting revenue play. So we want to be out in the market. We want to be talking to landowners and farmers about what those opportunities are and providing solutions there. So that's probably where you're going to see most of it.
I guess it's funny. It's interesting you mentioned that because carbon forestry has almost become a dirty word, particularly around ag. Now we all understand right tree, right place. We know that there are some areas where all farmers should be able to plant some forestry. Is that what you're talking about?
It's 100% what we're talking about. So, the old much used phrase of right tree, right place, and the other one is highest and best use, Andy. So, my observation is that most, proactive, good, professional, commercial farmers in New Zealand have trees on their property. I mean, I'm not talking about Southland or parts of Canterbury where you've got centre pivots that are operating on dairy platforms, but certainly in hill country there is a lot of forestry being used, and we are not advocating for plant and leave carbon forestry. This is managed forestry, and it can be a range of different species, not just radiata. There's a range of different alternative species out there: redwoods, Douglas fir, attenuated, lots of different things, even indigenous crops, which we can look at joint ventures on as well, native as well. So, lots of options. And I think that's part of a little bit of the misconception of forestry a little bit, and probably some of the things that have led to the challenges around the cohabitation of forestry and ag is that people think that it's all carbon forestry. It's not that, and we want to work in with the sector and live in harmony. Ultimately, that's our goal.
Dan, I'm glad you mentioned Indigenous forestry because I wanted to talk to you about that, but unfortunately I'm out of time. What I will do is maybe have a bit more of a discussion about that because I think that's a really fascinating discussion and how that works. We know that it's slower, takes a lot more time, but it's also really important for biodiversity as well, as opposed to just the exotics that we see all the time. Hey mate, I really appreciate your time. Thank you. Great to have you on the show. I think the Stand brand is a great name, and wish you all the success. And we'll talk some more. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic, Andy. Thanks for the opportunity. Good to see you.
All right, that is Dan Gaddum, their CEO of Stand Forestry Group. Yes, a merger between PF Olsen and Forest360. And some interesting discussions to come out of that one.
CountryWide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lapp.